What's up, everybody? Real with Omar. Special guest in the house today. Somebody I haven't seen in about 30 years. No exaggeration. Victor Marquez, owner of The Hut, the BX. We working, never jerking. Vic, welcome to the show. Thanks for being on.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We were having mad conversations before that, but a little background. The Hut, Williamsbridge Road in the Bronx.
Correct.
What do you sell there?
Right now we sell all type of apparel from
Okay.
sporting apparel to
Clothes, sneakers.
sneakers, hats, that type of stuff.
And you evolved. You used to do CDs back in the day.
Correct.
And how long you been there? So I just want people to know like the context of it all.
Yeah, we've been there since 1999. We were
From 99.
My father opened up the place. He was the manager for Dr. J's for a long time after he
And Fordham or somewhere else?
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, he started off at Joe's Army and Navy, which then turned into Dr. J's on 3rd Avenue.
I remember Joe's on me. Yeah.
149th Street, went to Queens, so on and so forth. Then from there he ended up opening up what was called Vic's Music Hut, and he opened up for his love of music, the shop on Williamsbridge Road, and that was in 1999.
And you used to work there with him? Or that was something he was doing?
That was something that he did at the time I was still running around on the street, but he opened those doors up for himself because he had closed the chapter of what was Dr. J's and him.
When Dr. J shut down. He had to find he had to find something to do, right? Yeah.
The J's was coming to an end, and he just decided to do that.
Okay. So let's go back. I think I graduated high school in 92, right? So that's how far back we go. Let's talk about the 90s a little bit, just to give people some color, right? Because people laugh,
right?
And you hear stories like I'm telling you off camera before I tell my kids the story. My kids are like 20 years, they're like men, and I tell them stories about the 90s. So in the 90s, and you jump in wherever you feel like it, right? In the 90s, from what I remember, it was like, we came up where I'm not speaking for you, I speak for me. My mom didn't speak English. My mom had a job. My mom had to be at her job, right? She didn't have like what we have, self-employment. We can make we make our time move for us, right? So she had to be at work at 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So 10, 11, 12, you kind of raising yourself. Yeah. You're on the street. The crack epidemic is out there. People getting robbed, people getting killed every day. And this is how we grew up, right? This is how we grew up. Now you have kids, I have kids now. Now, what was one thing? Like, I'll give you one memory I had. I remember like back in high school, like, and I don't pretend to know what high school's like now, because this shit is a different world now. Back in high school, when they step on your sneakers, there's a fight later. Like, or right there on site, right? Like, people don't understand. They think it's made up. They see the movies, like we see movies like Juice and stuff like that, and how they try to recreate that. For us, we might be like, that's a little not authentic enough. And other people, it gets the message, right? What do you remember from that? What do you remember from being a young man? Because obviously you're an entrepreneur now, you're a man now, but we all come from something, right? So what backstory can you give the people so they can understand, where we came from? Because for me saying is one thing, but from somebody else saying it, their perspective, it's a different other thing.
Me as a young adult, my parents separated around 7, so same kind of like you. My mother, I was left with mom. You know what I mean? Mom took care of me, and she was a full-time mom. So just like yourself, from that tender age of when he left to like 7 to becoming a young man, we were raising ourselves. You know what I mean? We were at home, but under not too much supervision. So growing up around that time,
no internet, no phones,
none of that.
Right? We're out.
Look out your window. There's all type of shit going on. You know what I mean? I lived on Beach Avenue, which was a crazy block, and my view was outside of a park, which was the epicenter of the whole neighborhood, and there was everything going on.
Right.
Drug dealing, everything you can name. Coming up, oh God, staying on topic. It was growing up for me was kind of rough, because not having a father there and being raised by a woman, and she was always with her woman, so I was raised by women. I wasn't the toughest kid, and I would get bullied. I would get jumped, all types. So it was kind of dangerous. And
but let me break it down though. Like, he would get jumped, but he was going for his. I remember that.
No, we talked about what that turned me into the monster I was. In the 90s.
Right.
Shout to VOD.
VOD.
Vandals of Destruction. We were like a little gang and whatever, man. There was a lot of, childhood memories that I was driving over here that I'm remembering driving by Kips Bay and being a kid that used to go to Kips Bay, and shout out to everybody from Kips Bay, 102 Park. A lot of great nostalgic memories of just the way we grew up. It's not like that now.
Yeah, it's
We
different.
were talking about there was no cameras. There was a lot of shit going on.
And nobody wanted to be on camera. I saw this quote yesterday. There's the most amount of documented people right now documenting nothing. They haven't done anything, but they out here. Yo, check me out. You're like, but what we checking out, right? Like sometimes people come to me, yo, oh, I want to do this. I was like, well, if you want to do this, well, not to get off your topic, but one of the reasons I wanted to have you on my show was, I mean, obviously we haven't seen you in a very long time. I'm for the culture. Thanks for the cool grades, right? We'll talk about that later. But you are moving. You're moving. You're using the platforms for what they're supposed to be used for. Not what people believe that is basically like, look at my life. You know what I'm saying? It's not really, for me, my life is private, right? What you see is if you really dig it into my situation, it's my business, my thoughts, but that's about it. And with you just, yo, this is what we're doing. Pull up. Oh, you want to deliver it? But like, you're creating a true commerce platform for what it's based off. What I want the kids at home to understand is, don't get it twisted, man. Like, if you're not doing nothing, ain't nothing to see, right? And going back to us, when we were younger, we were doing too much. We want nobody to see, right? Because we were learning stuff. You get 2 to 5 real fast. So yeah, so like it's a whole different paradigm shift. But going back to you, Kips Bay, and you thinking about growing up, your mom is there. You learning kind of what it is to be a man. You hanging out with a whole bunch of guys, like I don't want to name off people, but, hanging out together, trying to hold each other down. And it's true, when I say this, I'm not trying to be insulting, but when we young, we the blind leading the blind. Nobody knows nothing. Everybody thinks they know everything, and nobody knows nothing. And then we find out together how much we don't know. Right? So as you're doing that and getting into all types of trouble, what starts changing in your life? What part was there, like a moment that
I was the blessing of, still the dumb knot, my parents being they were both working parents, so they showed me what work, the ethic is like.
You used to see
every
it.
single day in my face. And then my dad, like I told you, Dr. J. So my first job, I was in the culture.
Oh, so he had you in the store.
Every store that opened up, Jamaica, Fordham Road, everyone my dad opened up, the one on Southern Boulevard. So as a kid, I grew up in all of those sneaker stores, and I didn't know what, but it was like second nature to me, but it was so exciting to be able to, say, yeah, my dad is the boss.
Because Dr. J was the shit. Back in the day, that was the shit.
Yeah. None of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Foot Locker wasn't that big. Dr. J was our coach.
Was the shit. Yeah, like, it's like Flight Club is now. Yes. Like, to use the context, right? People will be like, oh, Flight Club. Yeah, Dr. J, you go over there, they have mad shit, the clothes out, everything was out. And you would go there and whatever's hot, you're trying to cop it because you want to go out on the weekend, get into the clubbing thing. That's a whole different lifestyle. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you had to go there to be outside, right?
So that was a big influence on my life, still to this day right now, where my dad stuff, where he was the epitome of a hustler, a gentleman, well-respected, things that I still embark on becoming like, I have levels to grow as well as a man. And I still speak to him on the phone all the time, and, and I'm very happy to have the parents that I have. My mother, unfortunately, is still working. She just doesn't want to stop, but that's what keeps her going.
Yeah, it gives a purpose.
Yeah, it gives
right?
a purpose. Yeah, and I'm just happy to have at this age of, I'm gonna be 50 in October, I'm still having the luxury to pick up the phone and call my parents.
Yeah,
a lot of us.
Yeah, I lost both of mine. So yeah, it is a luxury. Yeah,
and I don't take it for granted.
So Pops got Dr. J's. Pops leaves Dr. J's, goes into the hut.
Yeah.
How do you fit in? How does this happen?
My pops was he's a typical Puerto Rican. He grew up. I was born in 75. He was outside, Sunside, that whole type of thing.
Right.
He ended up, as funny as this was, opening up a Spanish music store on Williamsbridge Road in the late 90s, early 2000s, because we got there in 99.
Okay.
it wasn't really, it didn't fit.
Right.
A Spanish
The culture wasn't there.
on
Right.
that Williamsbridge Road, you
Yeah.
know, it's a word though, that area where I'm at right
Yeah.
there is like industrial, like hospitals,
A lot of working class, right?
working class, and it's white.
It was white, yeah.
It's white.
Yeah.
It's Albanian.
Yeah. Now it's Albania. Before it was Italian, yeah.
And all of that stuff. And shout to all my Italians and Albanian friends that I got out there in the neighborhood. It just wasn't what it was. So he, you know, he had it kind of rough. From his story that I heard, a kid came in and was like, man, I don't want to listen to this type of music. I don't want to listen to, you know, I want to listen.
Hector Lavoe, yeah.
Yeah. Hector Lavoe.
What is that?
I don't want to listen to my dad's music. I want to listen to what's going on now.
Right.
So that ended up happening, and we ended up, my influence, I've always been into the hip hop culture.
Yeah, absolutely. You are the culture.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you, man, for that compliment. I was heavily influenced by the rap game. So my knowledge of that, along with my brother, we just, you know, transitioned into hip hop, and I think it kind of started. I don't remember when that first Eminem album came out, the Slim Shady LP.
Changed the world.
Changed the world, but yo, if every album could be like this, it put Vic's music
on the map,
like in the neighborhood. Like we had back then, the albums came out on Tuesday, and we would get them on Thursday.
Right, prior the Thursday before.
The Thursday before.
Yeah.
So, you know, you could go to the hut and get it early. You know what I mean? You probably pay a couple extra dollars.
But we had it.
$9.99. You probably pay $16, $20, whatever.
Whatever. We have it.
Right.
You got it. And it's before the internet. Like, shit wasn't easy. You had to go to places to get shit, right? It's like, it's not Amazon. Yeah, it's not Amazon. They bring it to your house. You had to go get it, right? And I think that's the real big difference when we grew up. We had to go get it. Now everything kind of comes to you. Get on your phone, you can order whatever you want, right? Order a fucking car. Like, you know, like before you had to, I want to get that. Well, Vicks might have it. And you know, you can't call and ask. You have to go show up. Like it was very different, right? It was very different.
It was the coolest experience, man. I think it was it's probably the height of the business. I mean, we had lines outside the door.
That's crazy.
Then I ended up converting into selling video games, and then we had the music, the video games, the mixtapes, the culture.
At this point, Pop is segueing out, or he's still just chilling and managing.
He's managing it. This is his store, and we're doing it together. At this point, I ended up coming in, helping him out. I used to work in the street for a long time. I ended up going to college, SUNY Koval Skills, shout to college. I graduated from Hostos, Lincoln Academy of Science. Why I ended up, my parents were working class parents that influenced me to just be goal orientated, succeed in life. I ended up going to several different high schools. It was, you know, that 90s was very, like, you know, dangerous. It was tough, man. I was figuring it out.
Especially if you were on the street, right? Yeah. It was very unfortunate. I mean, let's go to hip hop for a minute, because I like to talk about this because I'm a hip hop head. Hip hop was a way for us not have to do shit on the street. That was what it was about. The NBA, rapping, all that. That was about, different ways, because nobody was teaching us the real estate game with our man, the mortgage. Nobody was talking about that. That's not for you. That was really kind of how it was back in the day. That's not for you. This is for you. You can go be clean the kitchen, or like classism at its best, right? So then the culture came out, and even, like you go back to the first rappers, they didn't really get paid.
No.
Right? So, but that's the business. That's another business podcast. We'll talk about that later. But they just wanted to not have to do that, right? Back in the days, we used to have parties in abandoned buildings, or hooky party. People didn't go to school. They went to somebody's apartment. The parents are gone. You remember that? 50 people in your house. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. Like, but that was the culture. We were looking for something. And going back to hip hop, I'm like, I use it all the time because I'm like, it's $1 billion industry. You go to Japan, you go to anywhere, there's hip hop. I mean, hip hop started here in the Bronx. Like, from our generation, like, you can say the 70s, the thought started in the 70s. The push, what really kind of broke down the doors, like, the doors open, we kind of kicked it down with the 90s. 90s, 2000s, that's when Hove came out, all those guys, and they destroyed it. They just made, they actually etched a space for us, right? So I'm saying that because people like today's hip hop, I don't know what the fuck these niggas say. Like, they know what they're saying. I don't even know what drill music is. I don't even know what that is. But they seem to really not respect life. back in the 90s, it was crazy. It was wild, but usually there was a reason.
Right.
It was business. It was something. It wasn't just random, right? Unless you're in LA, they were just doing drive-by. But in New York, from my perspective, was that if you were stand-up dude, you were usually cool. I mean, wrong place, wrong time, anything go off. But now I don't even know how that works.
Yeah, it's tough, man. Seeing these kids out here, and I deal with them every day.
You deal with them you hand in hand with them. Yeah.
Every day, yeah. I've adapted to what it is, and man, the kids are very respectful. A lot of them that come into my store, I'm at the point now where it's like, yo, what's up, OG? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yo, what's up, Unc? Like, they see what I'm doing on the day to day, and they know I'm not about no nonsense, about no BS. I'm working guy.
Straight up, yeah.
Straight up working guy. And I've been respected by them, you know what I mean? Thank God. But you know what I do, I'm not blind to what's going on outside with these kids. You know, I have a 22-year-old son, and I worry about him all the time. And me and him are not on the best speaking terms right now, but still worry about, you know, our kids out there, man. They're kids at the end of the day.
You still love them, yeah, absolutely.
You said the blind leading the blind, so. You know,
and then the unfortunate truth is our kids don't listen to us because we're just dad.
Yeah.
I got my son's friends come to me. Right. Yo, can I make an appointment with you? I want, you know, one kid, he was like, yo, what are the write-offs? Like shit they want to know, right? I'm breaking it down. Right. One of my sons ends up going online during COVID. He loses a bag of money, trying to trade options. You know, yo, we could have talked to me. Like, another one tries to do his own taxes, ends up owing money. I'm like, you're a fucking student. How's that possible? Like, so I had my accountant do it and fixed it. So I'm like, yo, why don't you just come to me? And they're like, well, we don't want to be dependent. I was like, look, you got to understand, man, you're not being dependent on me, but this is my job. I brought you in here to the point that you know enough shit that you do your own thing, but you just asked me for counsel. Like, I pay taxes every year. I know how to do this. This is your first year. Like, and you know, like, and I respect what they're trying to do. They're trying to blaze their own thing. I was like, but you don't gotta take L's every time. You know, like you can ask, and if you don't like what I say, you can do what the fuck you want anyway. But you should definitely ask, right? So I say that because you say you're 22-year-old. I was like, yo, listen, I had my 30-year-old. We didn't speak for a few years. Like we had issues as men. But at the end of the day, I'm his dad, and you know, I broke down like, yo, man, just letting you know I'm here, and that's all he needed to hear. He was like, yo, dad. And but I believe sometimes that space is necessary for the value to be seen. Like when you're always there on tap, it's like whatever. It's like, yeah, he's always gonna be there, right? So then when you're not there and they go through some shit, like little shit, it don't have to be big shit, but any shit, right, and they don't have nobody to talk to, and they gotta eat that as a man, kind of like forces them to mature. When that relationship comes back, now he values you, right? He'll be like, damn, what do you think about this? Like, and it won't. I'm not gonna say he's gonna take every piece of advice you give him, but at least it won't be on some like afterthought shit, like some throwaway shit. Because I believe when we're too accessible, it's undervalued. People kind of like, whatever, and like, nah, it's not whatever. Like I'll tell my son all the time, yo, I get paid to speak. I spoke at a high school. I said, I get paid for this. Like I'm here. He's like, yeah, but you know, and then his homeboy's over here, like, yo, let me ask you a question. And I'm like, well, you don't get it, right? But somebody else says the same thing I'm saying. The speaker is sometimes, man, and that's something we got to kind of deal with as men, raising men, trying to not lose our cool, trying to be a better man than when we were raised by, right, without flipping out on them. So talk to me about the business. How has the business been? All smooth, ups and downs?
A lot of ups and downs.
What's the story? What do you find as a challenge?
Oh, God. What do I find as a challenge? I don't know, supply and demand. I don't think I can get enough. I can't get enough. I can't get enough.
That's not a bad problem.
It's a problem that has to be fixed. But other than that, I mean, it's tough when you don't have an account, you know, shit like that we spoke about off an air. And it's stuff that probably in the near future with some knowledge that can be
you can correct it.
Can be corrected.
Right.
Yeah, because I am making a name. A lot of people like, you know, say I'm loud, and I'm just loud because I want to be heard and seen for the hard work that I've been putting in and putting on for the Bronx culture. I don't think that we're recognized. So if I'm going to be 50, 60 screaming till you see me, we here at the hut, we working. Mm-hmm. You know, like my slogan says, we working.
Never jerk it. I love that slogan, yeah.
And the challenges of running a small business on the day-to-day sometimes can be kind of ruling on your mental, you know what I mean? Because I don't have the certainties of other, when you have accounts and you have major accounts, which I embarked because I grew up with the Dr. J's. I want to have
So you saw that. Yeah.
and I've seen and I learned the business enough that I know what's going,
You know how to work it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just hope that one day we get our chance to at least get a chance.
Okay.
You know what I mean? What's up like that. But other than that, it's been pretty fulfilling. I've been living a dream, man. I'm working for myself, and it has its ups, it has its downs. But right now, if you witnessed on Instagram,
You said you did remodel
360, man.
Okay.
So I spent a couple of dollars.
So we got to pull up and do a showcase on it. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a whole new look. And after 26 years, I continue to, refix the place. But I think I'm a little mentally beat right now with the fact that we were like 3 months in remodeling, and I didn't have the luxury to close the store and just say, yo, let's knock it out of the month. I had to work and keep it going.
And keep the money going, right? To make work.
You get winter merch. You can't sell winter merch in the summer.
It takes a lot of space.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it takes a
lot of time. So now it's starting to get clear. My mind is getting focused. And I'm happy, man. I'm happy. I'm alive, man. There's a lot of people our age that are not alive.
Absolutely. I had a question.
Yep.
Do you feel that your people, like people close to you, I'm not saying like your best friend, I'm just saying people that know of you or with you. I'll use it for myself as an example. I got these cool grades on, right? I text you, and you can say if I'm lying right now, say, yo, if you have this, bring it. I'm paying. I want to pay. I'm not asking for free stuff. Why? Because I believe that if I'm gonna pay, I'd rather pay my brother, right? But I only say that because I know I'm also a business owner. I understand how the economy works. Do you feel that sometimes our own people are not as supportive as others? Yeah,
I feel like people's perception, because I'm posting 10, 15, 100 sneakers, people think, oh, he's rich, or he's this, or he's that. Like, I don't know the game. Like, these sneakers, like I posted up a picture. I put up 100 pairs of fives. I had a vendor. I sell me the fives, and they were a price of $300. These same guys are coming to you. I'll tell them, yo, I want $350. Yo, I'm gonna give you $3.
It's called margin, guys. Right? I gotta make something. Yeah, I gotta make. You want to keep the lights on, right?
Keep this going. Yeah. We have the overhead. We got employees.
Yeah.
Myself, I have family.
Yeah. You have things that you want to buy. Yeah.
I mean, so shit like that. But
is it on the day to day? Because sometimes, and I'm not arguing the fact, but I see all the angles also on my side, right? I had a relationship with another bank, and the banks come to me because I have the market. Meaning, I know every program, I know how to fix it, and I know how to speak to my people and be like, hey, this is why it doesn't work. In a way, they'll understand it, and they'll get on board. They're like, all right, what we gotta do? How do I fix it? Right? Let's fix it. Let's get it done. They come to me because they need the market. They don't know how to come and speak. They're like, oh, this doesn't work. When I went to buy my first house in 2004, I've told the story before. I went to Norfolk Bank, which is now Capital One, on Pelham Bay. I went in there. I had a liquor store at the time and a nightclub. So I was depositing money. I didn't know anybody. The truth is, I didn't know anybody who bought a house. Like, I didn't have people that I could talk counsel. Remember someone counsel? I had nobody to talk to. So I went to the bank. I was like, yo, I want to buy a house. This is like 04 or 05 when it's popping. Everybody is getting a house. Like, anybody can get a house. So I go in there. They sit me down. The manager, not young, older white lady. She whips out this book and she asked me a few questions. I can't even give you but they were ridiculous questions. She asked me the questions. I answer them. I'm looking at her. So my wife, to give you more context, my wife is pregnant. So I was living with my mother. So I had to be out. Like, there was no way this was not going to happen. Right. So, and I told my mom, I was like, Mom, look, I'm going to buy a co-op. Then my mom had just got divorced. She was like, what about me? So let's buy a 2-family. You down? She goes, I'm down. Let's go. So we're at the bank and she's going through it. And she goes, oh, you don't qualify. I was like, okay. That was it. There was no, like, if somebody comes to me, like, if you came to me, yo, I want to buy a house. All right, what we got? What are you showing? And I will break it down for you and educate you, right? Going back to that story, maybe she wasn't educated, whatever, it doesn't matter. But had I not been relentless, that would have been the end of my story. I would have been renting in a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom with my wife at the time, with my girl at the time. her son, our baby, my sister, mom. It'll be like crazy. So then I called my other boy up because I was tight. I was like, no, this can't be it. I was like, everybody. Is it like, this was during the boom before the meltdown? Like, everybody's buying a house, like, bartenders, like, anybody can buy a house. I was like, yo, I called my man, Chris. He was in the game. I was like, yo, see, I went to get this house. They told me no. He's like, what? He's like, fuck that. Anyway, gets me on with Countrywide. My man Milton. I never met this guy, Milton, but this is going back 20 years. Milton, whatever, calls me up. Hey, what are you looking to do? I said, I want to buy a house. I have $35,000. The house is $360,000. I have money for closing costs. This is, a tax return. I broke it down. He's like, I'm sending you approval. He faxed it back. I'm gonna show you my age now. We faxed over the approval. I showed it to the real estate agent. I said, look, I'm making an offer. I made the offer. Not to go into the whole long-winded part, but if I didn't not accept no, where would my life be? And I'll go back further. At Lehman High School, where we both went. When I applied to NYU, she was like, and I forgive her now, like, as an older person, like, not older, but I have more knowledge. I can understand what she was saying. She was like, well, it's a really expensive school. Not saying you don't belong there, but saying, I know where you're coming from, right? That shit is real. I took that as like an offense, and I was like, yo, I'm applying. I got in. I don't give a fuck how I'm getting, how I'm going to do it. But that's just me. I'm going. I'll figure it out as I get there. But that could have changed my story too, right? I could have been, I don't know. I could have been not gone to college. I don't know. I don't know. My pops, rest in peace, was a street dude. So I could have been like, yo, I'm gonna try that. Like, it could have been, the story could have changed so many ways. And the reason, I want to talk about that is like, it's very easy to go left. And sometimes going right, let me go back to left. Going left, back when we came up, there was two endings. It was dead or in jail. That was it, right? I never seen a successful retired drug dealer. So going right, also then as you get older, you have kids, and you don't want to be, locked up. You don't want to be a statistic. I think the most embarrassing thing would be somebody come tell my son, yo, you a piece of shit. Like that, to me, that's the biggest. I'm like, yo, hell no. So I had my first at 19, so I'm like, yo, I gotta start going. I say that to illustrate kind of like even your story, like, yo, man, you were on the streets for a little while, and then you came up, and this is a different type of hard, right? And the culture should appreciate you trying to be there and provide, like, give access to people that they won't have access. Because having access is big until people start taking it for granted, going back to being too available, right? Like $50, but listen, I'm bringing you, I have to commit to, I'm just using numbers, $30,000 worth of merchandise. And I'm probably paying cash up front, and I have to get that back, right? I have to get it back to keep moving. So here you are, you come to this space, you can have it early, you can have it, tied up in a bow tie, and you take it with you. Right. There's no meet me on the corner, no crazy,
sitting on the lines.
Yeah. But that's luxury service. The hood's not really understanding. Right? Like, all right, I'll give you an example. I have a closing here. If it's a certain dollar amount, I have a guy who uses waterless car wash. I don't know if you've heard of that. Chemicals. The whole car wash all the cars that are involved in the transaction get washed. Today, with the podcast, I said there's food there, it's an experience, bro. And that is what people have to understand. They come to you, they come in right to the guy who makes the decision. He's trying to look out, but don't take it for granted. That, I think, becomes the issue when we're too accessible. And this is a lesson I've learned over the years. I'm just trying to give you, like, yo, man, I can't talk to you right now. Oh, but big, come on.
Nah, I try. If I was man, it's gotten to the point where I'm even. Unfortunately, I gotta stay away from the store because it's like everybody wants. I want to be there because nobody's gonna give you the appreciation. You're not gonna feel the hut if I'm not there. Like, I want to greet you. I want to give you my sincere, love for it. Also, I'm wearing a Washington Heights hat right now. I opened up my second store, Washington Heights. This is my 5th store that I've opened. 2 other ones in Jersey I've opened. There's one still open. I walked away from them because partnership went
in Jersey. Okay.
They, and they're still there. And they carry the hut name, and I wish them well.
Okay.
And I'm happy that they're still open and in business. And
so you got the Heights and you got the Bronx, right? So you have 2 outlets. I'm trying to break it down for the people at home. Right. You have 2 places you can go to to get what you need. brick and mortar businesses, we pay rent or mortgage, whatever you want to pay. We got to pay something to be here, right? We got to pay the lights on. Like, these are all the things that go into the whole, yo, man, give me it for free. Like, nah, man, because when I need something, you're there, right? So you should want to keep your local guy up.
Business.
Yeah, and stop counting your brother's pocket. Like, going to margins, like, people don't understand, yo.
And I get it, but this is a different time too. People can go on their, phone, and like you said, they can just pick up whatever they want. And some people don't want to come outside, but listen, man, I'm getting on platforms like this because you're doing your thing. Your numbers is up there, and it'll get awareness to letting people know, where we come from, what we're still doing over here. We're in your face. We're working. We're putting it out there. We're motivating.
People gotta appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate illegal hustle, right? And you're moving, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. You're moving, right? So going back to what I was saying before about margins, right? Like, I had a store in '99. I had 2 partners. The understanding that I had, and they can get on their own platform and say this, they have a different understanding. It's 25 years. Was like, I put up 50. Let me get my 50 back, and then we open 33. We're good. Or we can open stores. Each of us open a store. We all have a triangle. Like, I had the whole plan.
Right.
It was their idea. I wasn't even trying to do that industry, but they were like, "Yo, you make money." I didn't know. I was like, I was 25 years old. I was like, let's do it. We opened like in September. So in the liquor business, the holidays are like a whole year. Like, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's is like 12 months and 3 months, right? So they saw big numbers. So I had to try to break it down. I was like, no, you don't understand. Out of every $100, we're making 30. Out of every 1,000, we're making 300. Out of every, we sold $30,000. I was like, no, we sold 9,000. And I'm just breaking that down because this is a conversation. This is a thing that cost me friends. I mean, all love too. I have no beef with them. But it ain't the same no more, right? Like, after you tell me that, but I was trying to just simple math. Like, yo, man, it's 30,000, but it's really, we only made 9,000. Out of that, we have sales tax, right? So I got to put let's say 3% on the side. Like, so I'm breaking that. So we only made $7,000. No, but the 30. I was like, I understand, but we paid. I was on credit lines at the time. I was like, no, I owe me by myself. I owe 30. I got to pay that back. Like, I was trying to separate it, and it became very hard because people just see. And they're supposed to be like, if you're the business, you got to have an education about it. You can't be on some, yo, there's $100,000 there. Oh, in liquor, I'm using liquor because I did that. No, there's $30,000 net profit there. Or if it's wines, 50, which is $50,000 net profit. So there's really 50 there because the re-up money doesn't count, right? But that's the part that people don't get. People see you like, oh, you doing it, like, bro. And what about debt inventory? Right? No, I'm just bringing. I know I'm not trying to get you stressed out, but I'm just trying to bring it so people understand debt inventory. What does that mean? Inventory doesn't move, and there's something called velocity of capital, VOC. Right? The faster it moves, the more you make. You got to keep flipping it. If you don't have it moving, it's dead. It's holding. It's still. So it's dead money staying. So how do you get rid of it? Like, I put it on sale. I got to sell for what I got it for, or maybe I take an L. Maybe I do a giveaway. Like, I got to figure out a creative way to like. I'm trying to illustrate pain points for people to understand because they don't they just see because you're not out there crying, right? I do that on purpose because I'm not out there crying. People like, oh, you always up. Oh, I was like, yo, I could be up $1 million, I could be down 50,000. I'm still me. Right. Like, every day I'm gonna always be smiling, but there's days that's a little painful. There's days it's easier to jump out of bed because things are up, and I salute you because I know as an entrepreneur when things are down. You got to get up no matter what, bro. And you can't be infecting your family with the, oh, shit's fucked up. You got to be like, yo, things are cool. I take care of some business. I'll be back, right? And you got to always have that stoic face. Yeah, so I salute you, and I want people to understand that because people just think like you some celebrity kid on stories. It's like, yo, dude, like, sometimes I don't feel like doing this, right? Like, let's be real.
Entertain, yeah.
Yeah.
Forget about it, man. There was well,
did I touch on it? Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I mean, just sometimes you're not in the mood. You
know
what I mean? It's some people, like yesterday I decided to do, because we're talking about it, there's a lot of merchandise.
Yeah. So winter sales, right? I saw that.
Shitload of merchandise in the store, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars in merchandise, and
And shit got to move.
And the people are not walking in, but we have this platform through social media doing raffles now.
Right, I saw that.
So I did the raffles, pretty profitable. We did what I did is I created a $800 wheel.
Okay.
And first place $500 in store credit, second place $200 in store credit.
And how much to join?
How much to join? $20.
There you go.
Any wheel.
Yeah.
You can turn $20 into $500 in store credit. Anyway, store was slow during the day. We ended up doing two of those. Two of those is $1,600 that you make. I say that to say this because we're on social media and on live and we're entertaining, and you know, sometimes you want to, sometimes you don't, and it becomes, you know, a little draining. But I'm built for this. You know, I have a love for what I know, the challenges that I face on a day to day. I'm hoping to get better at growing as a person, and I know I am. But I'm cool with what, you know, the current state is. Like you said, I'm moving. You know,
and that's why you are. Let me say that on camera. The reason my man is on, not besides us being, we haven't seen each other in 30 years, right? But like I said to him off camera, I want to say on camera, I don't know what his financial status is, but he's moving. And if you hustling, I'm about that shit. Like I want, you got to be on the platform because that's all I care about. That's, like, I will take 10 hustlers over one Harvard educated guy who's entitled all day, because we could take over the world, right? So let me ask you a question. As you've grown, have you, and this might get a little delicate, so you think about the answer before you say it. Have you grown as a person where you're starting to see, hey, maybe I shouldn't be around this circle of people? Have you had to alienate yourself from people? Like I do it all the time, not in a bad way.
No, not in a bad way. Yeah. I mean, I'm currently living that right now. I've finally grown up, man. I finally had a lot of bad habits, man. I've grown up a lot of bad habits, and not, you know, my bad habits was hanging out. You know what I mean? Partying, clubbing, not doing no hardcore drugs or anything, but that is time.
That
lifestyle is just, and now as I'm sitting back and now I'm enjoying it. I'm a better father, better person, away from the party crowd. And less friends. Nobody's calling me no more, and I'm cool.
Because nobody's hanging out.
I'm not hanging out.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You're not popping models.
I'm not spending my money on you. I'm cool, man.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So yeah, I mean, we grown, man. There's levels that I have. You know, it took a long time for me to grow up, brother.
It is something happened in particular, or just something that happened over time?
There was something that happened particular. I mean, there was a fatal. I mean, last year I got stabbed. You know what I mean?
That was out. Were you outside hanging out?
I was in front of my store. It happened with a former employee.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. And it was somebody that I really had a lot of love for. It was a kid that, you know, we heated things, situations happen. I'm alive.
Mm-hmm.
Shit is good. We good. He goes his way, I go mine. You know what I mean? But that really, my life was...
That's serious.
I was there. I died, you know? Yeah. And it came back, and I just, you know, came back kind of more angry, I guess, for a long time. And I'm just trying to let things go and just appreciate life as it is, because so many people tell me I'm blessed, but, you know, working as hard as I work, and there's a lot of gatekeeping that go with this shit too, bro.
Well, talk about it. Let me hear it.
A lot of gatekeeping, man.
I'll tell you my side.
Right.
I'm a commercial bank real estate broker, probably top tier in any division. How I got here was in 99, this Jewish guy, the guy back to C who put me on, got me the loan, helped me get the loan. He's like, yo, my boss wants to talk to you. He comes down to the Bronx, 99, and the X5. Remember, they were hot. Those are hot. And he comes out, Jewish guy, me and him are still cool. And he said, look, what I'm trying to do is buy buildings. Now, again, I don't know anybody who buys buildings. Like, I never had access to those type of. When I went to NYU, I met high net worth people, but they were kids too. We were having those conversations. So I was like, all right, let me understand it. I had a liquor store. So like, going back to, pretend you're at the Hut. And I come to you, I'm like, yo, man, so I want to buy buildings in this area, but I'm Jewish. So I'm like, yeah, I understand. He's like, so they're not going to sell to me. I didn't understand that. I was like, okay. So he's like, I want you to find me some buildings, get me a good deal, and I'll pay you a real estate commission fee, which is 6% of the sales price. So I know how to do math. So I was like, all right, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm selling Hennessy. I'm paying $29, selling for $36, maybe $7 a bottle. I find this guy building for like $300. I make $18,000 one shot. I was like, bet. So I was like, all right. So I found one real fast. We ended up closing. I got my first check. 18,000 one shot. I was like, oh, okay. So I found another one. It was another like 26,000. I was like, oh. So I had to go see him to pick up my checks. That I talk to you like I say this to you, so I want you to, because there's always some sort of angling, posturing in business, right? So he wanted me to come to his office, and his big ass office. He owns a bank. He still owns a bank, one of the biggest banks in America, whatever. And he's just shining his shoes. And I say it on purpose because I walk in his office and nigga shining his shoes. I'm like, okay, whatever. So he's like, hey man, he's like, I remember walking by this pit, but like mad people on the phone, just screaming. I look to the right, there's a whiteboard, has these numbers on there. It's like 65, 85, 185, 275. So I was like, all right, whatever. I walk over there. I'm like, I'm just taking it in because I'd never been exposed to something like that. He's like, yo, Omar, he's like, I really like you. And you should really think about becoming a loan officer. Going back, I know I keep saying this. It's like 0203. Right before I bought the house. No, I had bought the house already. So 0506. So I was like, I didn't know what that was. I was like, he's like, what you were doing for me is real estate. Like, and I was like, yeah, I know you were buying buildings. He's like, yeah, but there's a career, become a real estate broker. That's what you're doing. Like, you don't have the license, but that's what you're doing. So okay. He was like, these guys. So all those guys that were screaming on the phone, they were loan officers. So he goes, you went to college. He's like, most of these kids are from Long Island. They're not educated. He's like, you're educated. You speak English and Spanish. People like you. He's like, you'll kill this shit. And I was like, what are those numbers? Like, because, now I'm sitting now, I got to ask. He's like, that's what they're making every month. So I was like, well, 275? $275,000 in a month? He was like, yeah. I don't know anybody. Like, I'm like, fuck that, I'm in. So I was like, all right, I'll be back. So that was my second time going to college. But I say that to tell you, like, it wasn't like somebody put me on and said, hey, man, I want you to be the greatest.
Right.
They're like, yo, here's this hustle. And I looked at it and I said, yo, this shit's crazy. All these guys over there were kind of hanging because, in the industry that, again, hot. I don't want to label it, but it was very, very white, very druggy in Long Island. It's a very different culture. Right. I'm from the Bronx, driving to Long Island every day. And, I had a baby, I had my wife, so I had to make it happen. But then I saw the opportunities, right? They're like shitting on it. I'm like, hold on, bro. I was like, wait, I'm not understanding something. I'm like, you could come here. I don't know how you're doing it, but somebody made $275,000 in a month. That's all. I was like, hell fucking yeah. So boom. So I got into it. And as I just kept learning. I always kept learning. And I still to this day, I meet people and I'm always like, okay, because I'll meet people that are worth, $500 million, whatever. And I'm like, I'm cool. I'm like, hey, love to hear your story. Like I want to see how I could take whatever you did, kind of like translate it into my life and kind of use it for myself. Right. And going back to you, like you're doing your thing, right? Like people see you have the market. I believe if you keep pushing, you'll be able to get a license, right? You get the license, now you got your own ticket. But you're using the market and like sometimes you got to get rid of distractions. And maybe that part of your life with the party, where we grew up from, that was always kind of glamorized. The drug dealers on the block, like, like you weren't doing it unless you were being seen. But, one thing I learned is that, wealth is silent. You know what? Like guys who got it, you want to be like, some of them dress okay. Like they'll have a Hermes pair of sneakers on with like some $2 shirt. Like there'll be something that'll indicate they know what money is, but they're not flashy, not gaudy. Like they're not like, like Big Daddy Kane, Slick Rick, like that. But that's what we saw, and that's what we correlate to success. We're like, yo, we got to be that. I'm going back to representation, visualization, because that's important. What we see is what we aspire to be. So us having this conversation right now, hopefully some people in your neighborhood see it and they'll be like, all right, Vic is just, he's a hustler. He's just like, it don't got to be that him and me. It could be us, right? Like how can I help? That's the way it should be, because anybody who's ever helped me has had more than me. Right. And they're always like, yo, going back to what I'm telling you, they're like, yo, I see the way you move. Like when I first started that, yo, I was there at 8 a.m. I was 7, 8 o'clock at night. Niggas shutting down. I was there. I was like, I gotta learn. I gotta learn how to do this. Like there was no like, oh, I'll learn it later. I was like, yo, I gotta learn how to do this shit. Like, if I learn how to do this, I could change my life. I could change lives, not just my life, right? Like lives. And that's what I did, man. That's what I did. And even now, like in my industry, I own everything. I own my building. I own my businesses. Not because I'm tougher, but nobody works like me. And that's, it is what it is. The guys that work like me have their own shit and we collaborate, right? Like this. And because hustle sees hustle. Guys that go to work to bigger industries, like, in my business, the big thing is to go to a new bank, get a sign-on bonus, like get 50,000 up front, whatever. Don't work too hard because you got your 50,000, and eventually you get fired and you got paid back. Like that's, I'm breaking down the hustle. Like me, I never got a sign-on bonus. I don't need a sign-on bonus. I was like, yo, what's the pay rate? All right, what's our spread? I'll talk in terms that some people might not understand, but I know what correlates to the money. And even like going back to like some guys, real estate game. Yo, I get 80% payout, right? So out of the 100%, you get 80%, which is crazy. It's a really good payout. All right, so how many deals you close? None. I was like, all right. So I closed 20 deals at 50% payout. And you close 0 at 80. Who's winning? Right. No, they get caught up. Why should you get 80? Like I've had guys coming in here, yo, I want to work for you. I'm like, okay. What did you do last year? Oh, whatever. Why are you leaving your job? Oh, they owe me money. That's always the story. They owe you money? It's like, yeah, commissions, they ain't pay me. I was like, all right, cool. I'd like a sign-on bonus. I was like, oh, okay. How much would you like? Right? Oh, 25,000. I was like, all right. I was like, if you can show me a W-2 or bank statements or something that shows me you made at least 250 last year, that's 10%, I'll give it to you. Nah, I don't. My man, so like, but it goes back to the street part of how we grew up, bringing it to corporate America and be like, hey, okay, listen, the one thing is you always gotta be patient. Be like, all right, let the guy play himself. And then be like, yo, just give me a real reason. Yo, you want a bonus? Okay, cool. Show me that you did that last year so I know at least, my money's well invested. It's not a shit on you. It's like, now it's business, right? Like my ROI, my return on investment is going to be whatever. Like a house makes like say 30%. So 30% of 250 is, let's say, 70,000. So I'm still ahead. If I give you 50, all right, whatever. Let me see it. Nah, I don't have it. So, going back to, I don't even know how we got here, but I'm going to like business. It's just business. It's really, you break it all down. You sell assets, you sell merchandise, right? So they can go anywhere. Why do they come to you? My answer to that, the experience, first of all, support of each other, second of all, and who knows, like there might be something they might need from you that you can give them access to.
It's an open door. We're having the hut. We buy, sell, and trade. So we buy from the community as well. The community supports the hut. We're not in business for 26 years and opening up stores and selling fucking hundreds of pairs of sneakers.
Right.
I sell hut, yo. I sell a lot of shoes, man.
Yeah, you're a shoe man.
Man, yeah, and having this conversation with you and just listening to you speak and you educating me on business as well. I know that there's levels for me to get to, and I'm just inspired by listening to you talk as well, man. I'm just proud.
No, absolutely, no, absolutely.
For where we come from and what you're doing, this is definitely an inspirational conversation that we.
Yeah, I mean, don't get it twisted. Like, I'm talking to you, and I don't say this to say anything like I'm better than, but I can sit with anybody. You want to talk about $1 million buildings that you own? I can sit there. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about commercial buildings you own? I can sit there. I could sit there. It doesn't make me who I am. Like, I'm saying? I've invested money and there's some shit about to happen this year. You heard it here first. That's gonna put me to the next level, and then we're gonna do some crazy shit. I invested in the tech app. It's about to pop. We'll see. If it pops, then I'll be like, yo, Vic, we gotta do something. Like, like I have an extra 40 million. We gotta do something now, right? We gotta do something, like, because it's to be deployed, right? Like the money by itself ain't gonna do nothing. You gotta move it. As a hustler to hustle, you gotta move it. But the thing is, like you gotta be able to have these conversations. And going back to the question I asked you was like, me myself. So I met a lot of people in my journey, and my come up, what always saved me was work. Like they could never say he was late. It was always like, whatever, but you could never say I was lazy. Niggas was always there. So as you start ascending, the guys that were your boss or whatever, or your guys were farther ahead than you, and you start catching up, and you don't let up, you keep going. Those relationships have to be managed correctly. You got to be on some, yo, it's enough for all of us. Because some guys are going to be upset. Some guys are going to be like, yo, I'm better than you. Like, no, you're not. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's okay. And having this conversation with you makes me laugh because I know on the street, like, it don't go that way. Like, you tell someone, no, you're not, fuck you. And it just goes left. And like, it don't got to be like that. We could talk this out. Like, this, we just talking. Like, this is an exchange of ideas. I'm not saying fuck your mother. I'm just saying, yo, this is what it is. And as I went up, like, I saw some people in my life who I thought were like my brothers, my boys, and like, it kind of changed a little bit. Like, they were like, because they didn't feel superior. But I'm like, yo, the money don't make you superior, bro. The money is just a byproduct of good hustle, right? So if I'm out hustling you, then just crank up, rev up, do what you got to do. Like, well, how can we collab, right? And that should always be the conversation. And I say that to you because I want people to understand, like, brown and black people can collaborate. The issue becomes, because they're so caught up in not being one up. Like, yo, if you're part of a collective, we all won. You won, that means I won. And it doesn't have to be a monetary thing. Yo, my man's up. Shout him out. Share a story. Like, what does it cost?
Nothing.
Right? And a lot of guys, I want to share it. I'm like, why not? Why not? Show love. Be happy. Celebrate each other. There's too much of the separation. And especially now with, like, the people that are not making money, they're just not making money. They're just not going to make, they just can't get it out of their head how to make money. Right? Like, they just don't understand, like, all these bad habits you have. This mindset that you have that people owe you shit is what's making you not make money. Like, they don't understand that part. And I want people to say, yo, just change your mindset, man. You can make money. And there's a win. If you look for a win for everybody, yo, bro, the sky's the limit, man. It's just that simple to me. I've always seen it that way, whether it was on that side of the street doing bad shit or good shit. It was never, oh, if I get rid of this guy, I make, yo, bro, we all eat. We all eat because we keep staying in motion, right? So, all right, so you have the Bronx and you have Manhattan.
Yes.
So, who's in Manhattan? That's your boy, you said.
My brother Mark, a childhood friend of mine.
Okay.
He was in business before, and now he's came home from prison. He's done a stint in prison, and now he's doing tremendous. He's a great driving force. He's a great partner. He's everything that you would want in a partner, man.
Okay.
He pushes me to go. He's 10 years younger than me, so he has his,
Yeah, that little youth.
He got the youth.
Yeah.
He's still hanging out, so he still sees what people are buying, and
He still was trending.
He's what's trending. Yeah.
Right.
That's a pleasure to have, and can't be at two places at one time.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. So he works as hard as I work. We go over numbers every day. We talk.
And that's rare. That's rare to find somebody who's gonna hustle as hard as you are, right? Like, I've never found that. People ask me all the time, yo, I want to do that. I'm like, all right, well, get up, wake up, go do this, go do that. Like, if it's, you're only not busy because you're not looking. Right? Like, you can always be like, you said it was slow, let's do a raffle. We gotta do something. We gotta drive attention. Right? Like, every day we burn, I gotta pay. Or like, I'm sure you have your day, like, there's a number.
Right.
Like, my number is like, I think 4,000. I gotta make $4,000 a day to cover everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I know my number. So as an owner, you know your number, right? So you're like, yo, I gotta make this number.
Yeah, gotta make it up, man.
I gotta make this number. Yeah.
We deliver, like you were saying, I'm still the guy that I think what I'm doing is, breaking barriers. I do the same day delivery.
Yeah, I saw that. Door to door.
Mr. Door to door. You got to get an app or something, you know what I mean? But, get it going. What is that, like the Uber, the Uber kicks or something like that? I would love that. Somebody's going to tape that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll figure it out.
But the big thing is with you is, I believe, is you create relationships.
Yeah.
That's it. That's bigger than everything. Because they're going to be like that. I'll go to past 4 different Chinese restaurants because I like the way this restaurant makes dumplings or something stupid like that. Right. But that's the same thing. Yeah, it's a relationship, man. It's like, I get food from Greenlight from Marquez. I like Mark, the owner, real cool. The food is good and it's helping me keep the body I want to keep. So it's a win-win. If I can put everybody on, everybody should be put on. If you don't like it, that's cool. But I pass other spots. There's spots here in the Bronx. I'm not gonna name them out and make enemies, but I bought food from there it's not as fresh. It looks kind of ganky. I'm like, yo, you step it up, man. Like, you know,
Yeah, you gotta step your shit.
yeah, you gotta step your shit up. If you want people to support you, you got to give them a reason. And going back to you, the experience, right? People come, yo, what's up? Oh, Vic, what's up, man? I got these, I got that, I got this. You know,
So, you know, we speaking about the experience.
Uh-huh.
It was once called Vic's Music Hut, where we were talking about, you know, the music era that we were once was, and my
Right.
dad did. And now there's still music going on, and we have that culture. So what I did now is I put like a microphone booth, kind of like what, you know, what I remember, like Tigger Rap City, the bass.
Yeah, yeah.
That's shout to Tigger. For an experience for these younger guys to see that it all can happen. It could be you too, you know. And I want to have that. It's
Open mics.
the open mics and
Okay.
stuff like that, poetry. I did that. I used to do like Freestyle Fridays and the camaraderie. I did.
You open till 11 o'clock at night.
I'm open at. I'm the late night spot, man.
Yeah.
And that's just opening up different revenue for them.
Is it?
Yeah, because people close at 8.
Mhm.
Some of these young guys that want to go out late night, you know, we can sit there. I can raffles come in, but that's where, you know, springtime, summertime, not really in the winter, but yeah, from the spring, summer, it's a no-brainer to say open a little later.
Yeah.
Because everybody's open. It's too many people, you know, other stores are open, so I was open at night. Helps out. We also have I'm learning I'm not too tech savvy, but I'm just opened up a link on the Instagram. It's called the hutbxstore.com.
Mhm.
The HutBX store, and you can, anything that we had, we are uploading all the
Inventory? Yeah.
inventory on
Yeah.
there, getting it out. So a lot of this stuff is, you know, like kind of new to me. I wasn't too tech savvy because I was just outside hustling for most of it.
Right.
I neglected it.
Mm.
It wasn't really something that, but it's very important to be, you know, have your apps and
You got
that's
they're like supplements to the main ingredient,
right.
right? If people can order it online, yeah, they'll want that. If they can order online and get delivery from you, they might pay extra for that. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure.
And I just find the joy of just meeting the people and getting back down to that, just the, you know, the people, because
The connection.
the connect. I'm nothing without the people, man.
Yeah.
I'm from the Bronx. I'm still here. You know, hopefully one day I'm gonna be a homeowner. I'm gonna move away, pass the business down to my son, like it was passed to me, and just keep it going. But for right now, I'm looking to we're gonna be opening up another location, and
Really?
yeah, we're definitely gonna continue the hut
In the Bronx?
franchise. No, we're gonna try to get one of these in each borough,
Okay.
and then from there I would like to see if we start hitting up the malls. You
Mm.
know, and you know, investments and investors and working with us is something that we could sit down and
You gotta do now you got my thinking cap is on. You gotta do something like a sneaker con.
I've done.
Have you?
I work with Sneaker Company.
Okay.
Work with God Soul. I also gave you a pair. I bought into a shorts company. Shout out to one of my best friends, Crispy.
Crispy shorts. I saw them.
Man, he has definitely he's given me a life outside the hut because
What's the story with that?
we met online, and he was doing these shorts. They were going for $400, and I was like, you know, that's something that I definitely could implement into the store. And he didn't have the outlet that I am.
He don't have distribution.
Platform.
Uh-huh.
No, he's fucking. We have the distribution.
Yeah?
Merchant. Yeah.
Huh.
Pakistan, whatever they're doing that out there. But
Nah, you talking about manufacturing. I'm talking about like the distribution means selling, getting it out. So yeah.
he had it on his.
Yeah, you didn't have the point. He didn't have the point.
He had the street cred.
Right. Okay.
Street cred,
Okay.
right? And I was able to get it to rappers and
Okay.
tell you, man, Vic's Music Hut. Now I could pick up the phone. I could call Fabulous. I can call Cameron. I
Okay.
could call Jim Jones. I could call my favorite rappers. Now they
Nice.
shop with me. You know.
Oh, yes,
I'm a sneaker store guy to the celebs as well. Like,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of them have supported me and continue to support the hut and what we got going on for the whole day. So Crispy came involved and we started hitting up. I told him, Chris, it's important that we put these shorts in these sneaker cons. It's like a peanut butter and jelly. Everybody's got sneakers. Nobody has shorts.
Okay.
Like this. So he's giving me an opportunity to grow with him, and you could buy those Crispy shorts.
They're basketball shorts.
They're basketball shorts. He is a basketball guy.
Do you remember what the basketball shorts are when we were young?
We were mentioning this.
Wasn't it something else? I forgot. But it was crazy. It was around that price. Now it was before that. I forgot what it was called. We used to go to the dugout on Castle Hill to buy them.
Out to the dugout.
Remember that?
Legendary.
Yeah,
Legendary
dugout. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot. It'll come to me later. I'll text you. But
I just want to give a big shout out to Crispy and everything that he's done for me. He was able to educate me on a couple of things financially that I'll tell you about, where I was able to qualify for a business loan.
Nice.
And I took it upon myself and
make it happen.
Business loan, and now through working there, paying the business loan back, they'll
credit lines getting bigger.
Lines getting bigger. First one was for $200,000. You know what I mean? Paid that back in about like 4 months.
Okay.
So the money's getting made. You know what I mean?
Well, having access to credit changes things, right? Because you can negotiate different deals.
Yeah, and it helped me, honestly, man. It helped me. I put the money to where it needed to be. It helped me fix up the store. That money's there now. And it was something that I wasn't educated to, and Chris put me onto it, and now it's just gonna help the store grow. From there, we'll be able to continue to open up other chains.
I like it.
Me and Mark, we put our money, just like you said, 50-50. We put 50,000 each. We ain't touch a dollar yet.
Okay.
We
that growing.
That shit growing. We don't need the money.
Mm-hmm.
We good. You know what I mean? I'm all right. So there's a franchise, and it's something that is definitely got to go on, and I got to put people in play, because I'm a whole entity. Like, I'm a whole big deal, and I need help, because the phone calls are coming from all over the world. Yeah.
Okay.
When I started with the wholesaling again, because I wholesale, man. This guy's got.
Well, tell people what that is. I don't.
Wholesaling is it's just like selling drugs, man. It's what I compare. It's like a breakdown,
Yeah, I get it.
Like, if I sell a couple of shoes and put $10 on 700 shoes, make $7,000.
Yeah.
Driving over there to drop those.
One point, drop it over. You make your money, you're out.
Go, I'm out. I made my points. I did for them. Everybody's happy. And I've met a lot of vendors that have warehouses of sneakers.
Really?
Yeah.
Just stuck.
They just have thousands of sneakers, and
they're not selling them.
They're not selling them. They're there.
Okay.
So they need a guy like me.
Damn.
To be their front,
So there's people that are stuck with inventory.
Absolutely. And I can be a guy to move them out there.
Yeah.
And, so it's a lot for myself, because I suffer from bipolar and depression. So that's a mental challenge for myself that I'm, addressing now. That's clearing things up.
When did you discover that?
I've always known it.
You've known it?
I've known it. I've always known it. I'm a very, very emotional person, and sometimes my emotion and my passion can hurt me as well as help me. And it has hurt me and helped me. I've made so much money for others, and sometimes I want some, like, it's what you said. It was what you was. Nobody owes you nothing, Vic. You just got to get out there.
Go get it.
Go work.
Yeah, go get it. Go get it, bro.
That's what we doing. We working. I'm in a clear space right now of blessings, and know that everything you put out there is what you're gonna get back. And I just wanted to be on these platforms to just be transparent with people, because there's a big misconception of who I am.
So what's the misconception? Let me hear it. I haven't seen you in 30 years. Let me hear it. I heard. I'm gonna steal the other guy's line. He's like, some people say you're an asshole. Yeah. Why would people say that? Just give me an example of that.
Because there might be days where you come in at the wrong time of the store, and I might be going through something, and you might not get the best experience.
Okay. At least you're being honest about that.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You might not get the best. I might have not reacted to it the right way, or I might have closed doors with certain individuals because of my because I'm not handling things the right way, and I'm only human, and I know that if I'm wrong, it's one thing about me. If I'm wrong, I have no problem saying I'm wrong. I do things the wrong way.
Okay.
Just want to, so the whole asshole shit is just like I was saying, and piggyback off another podcast. Shout out to AB5, man. Thank you. Shout out to 85.
85, I stole your line. I'm sorry.
It's all good, man. We got love for you, bro. Shout out to 85. What was I saying?
You're saying that you've not been the best version of yourself at times, and you've burned some relationships because of that?
I think the mental stress of continuing to go is just takes a toll on you, because sometimes I devote myself a little too much to the business. Fuck up
the balance game. Yeah.
I got shout out to my wife, man. Shout out to Kaylin Bayonne. I love you. I got a great woman by my side
and that's incredibly important, bro.
She's the most patient with me, man, because the journey that I've been in the last few years, I went on a high, went on where I've started to really see some money. And then when I started seeing money, the people that I was
money with,
yeah, it swept it right under my feet.
Okay.
so to speak. And it really mentally fucked me up.
Yeah, it fucks with your perception of reality, right? You thought this is life, we good, and then all of a sudden it
And all of a
changed.
sudden things change.
Yeah.
So, having a good backbone is something that I'm very, very grateful for. She's given me my 4-year-old daughter. I'm able to find love and joy into my daughter and putting that environment. And I think I'm in a great space, man. I think that a lot of people see the work and the stuff that we're doing and want to get on board. It's just continuing to grow, man, and we're doing so. We're doing so. I know that we're growing. Sometimes when you're doing so much and you're doing it, you don't see it, but it's really being done. Like when you look back and you open the door and
you're like, I'm here.
Oh shit! This is really happening.
Yeah, that's the greatest feeling. That's the greatest feeling. Yeah,
gratifying, man. It's super gratifying. Like I said, I'm still able to talk to my dad and show him, yo, dad, I fixed the store. Yo, put this.
He's still in New York, or
no? He moved to Florida. They bought a home out in Florida.
We gotta get you to be a homeowner. That I'm putting that on the podcast. It'll be a homeowner in less than like a year.
Yeah, man.
We'll get you on that.
Definitely has to go down.
I believe in ownership so much, bro.
Yeah,
It changes everything.
Tired of renting and all the spending $3,500 on like what you.
It changes everything. I'm saying like ownership. Listen, man. I want you to quote me because I want you to remember this conversation, right? So, you said you were up. I've been up. The swings are big, right? The higher you get, the bigger the swing, right? Like, so you be up 7 figures and you're down 6 figures. You just gotta stay cool, right? And understand you gotta keep moving forward and working. It will work itself out, but that's the hard part. The hard part is not giving in to all the negativity, the pressure, all that stuff. So you gotta kind of find your zen and be like, just chill, bro. Put that aside. Let me focus on what I want, which is to make more money. As I make the money, I'll start getting rid of, these issues, because the issues will all go away. They will go away if you keep doing what you're supposed to be doing, which is making money, right? I'm just using business as a metaphor. But the hard part for most of us, and you've already confessed to that, whereas there's days it's harder than others to kind of be cool.
Right.
And those days you have to be smart. I mean, maybe take a walk, not be at the store for a minute, go to the beach, walk on the sand. I know it sounds whatever thing. Like for me, I'll tell you, a car wash. Right. For me, watching somebody wash my car, I don't know what it does to me. My wife thinks I'm crazy, but I just get chill. Like, oh, my car's so shiny. I get really excited, really happy, and go back to it. Right? Like, it sounds stupid. It's 35 minutes of my life, but it just changes my mood. Maybe it's me hanging out talking to the car wash guy. I don't know, but because there's nothing to do with whatever issues I'm having. Right. It's a way to just change your focus. So you got to find that out for you. I know you deal with your own things, but I'm giving you, we the same age, but I have a few years and a few different things that I've done that I want to just give you to kind of put into your place so that it helps you excel faster. Because the truth of the matter is that we all give each other, me listening to you has also given me value where I'm like, yo, where I remember that. I got to kind of do that differently. Or going back to your story about when you were up, like, I know people that are so much more up than me, and I'm happy for them.
Right.
And we've had business relationships, and it didn't work out, and I'm not bitter. I'm like, yo, it didn't work for me. That's all. Like, and they get a little bitter because they want to have a good soldier, right? They want to have you there. Right. I'm like, bro, but if it ain't making sense for me, you can't be mad. Going back to the conversation, you got to be able to have that conversation and not be some rah-rah shit. It got to be, yo, man, I'm just talking numbers, bro. That didn't work for me. You're up. You're a billionaire already. I'm not. I'm still going. So unless there's a change in this equation, meaning you're going to put some money, like unless you change in this equation, this math doesn't math for me. Right. And it could be just that simple. Like, some rah-rah shit, just on some talk. But that's what happens when you become more of a businessman and become a man here and not just on some reaction shit, which is what we were all victim to when we were young, right? Because we all hormone, we all like testosterone, we all like, what's going on? Like, I'm the biggest. Not when it comes to business. That's different.
And I had a harsh reality of that, man. I was able to be friends with a millionaire and somebody that was big in the culture.
Mm-hmm. Keep his name out. Okay.
Keep his name out, but it was such a great influence on my life.
That's dope.
Even he taught me the difference between the yeses and the nos.
Well, break it down. Let me hear it.
You have to, it's always great to be pleasurable when people say yes all the time.
Yeah, please them. Yeah.
Yeah. But when they say no, You know, you're like, oh shit, he said no. He just told me yes 100 times. He just told me no once. So you have to learn how to, when sometimes when no is no, and with me, I'm a sneaker guy. I want every sneaker. I want every fucking sneaker. You know,
Every drop.
every drop. I want to be the guy. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can't give you this drop, man. All right, no problem. There's always a next.
Give me the next one. Yeah.
You're gonna help me, And anybody that has helped me grow, I've ran through a wall for them. You know what I mean? And that sometimes we need that. Sometimes, you just need that little backup, that little back from somebody to just be like, yo, I've been where you're at, bro. I know what you're dealing with, and this is how we're gonna do it. And I'm gonna help you get on that path. And I've done it for others, you know what I mean? I've helped people out. And sometimes, you pay it forward like that, man. But to go with the yes and the no's, the relationship isn't there anymore. But the imprint that gentleman has left in my life is forever. He showed me, like you said, there's a way to get all these material things that you want without having to sell drugs. And that was the big thing.
Yeah.
The big house.
Changed life.
Big car. I saw that. So I kind of fell victim for that real quick. I bought the big watch. I bought the Cuban link. I bought the nice Beamer X7, you know what I mean? And all of that. And didn't know the more core important of everything, that money that I just spent on that. The money for
I could have been flipping. I could have. I mean, look, as I meet people, like I know some people that are up, and
right.
It's the same, bro. Like everybody has their thing. Everybody has their thing. Like a guy be like, "Oh, you're stupid. You bought a Lambo, whatever." But no, that'll be like your thing, right? But his shit'll be, I go on golf trips and I spend $80,000 because we got to go play with Jack Nick. Like you don't fucking know who played there. Like we got to go to play on the top of Volcano, Hawaii. All right, man, crazy man, whatever. Everybody has their thing, right? So you respect it, but you just can't be dominated by it. Like I have a nice car. I don't go like I have friends of Cullinans and I'm not going crazy. Like to me, it has to be in scale. What I mean by that, if I'm getting a Cullinan, I gotta have a house that has a 3-car garage. Like it gotta
make sense.
It gotta be a $2.5 million house. Like to me, it gotta fit in the house. And to me, like,
bro, guys don't meet. And let me tell you something too, bro. Guys don't get to have conversations with guys like you from my hood no more. Like you went and I'm listening to your story as well. We haven't seen each other in 30 years. Talking big money talk right now. You educated yourself and done that. To put yourself on this platform to earn for others, which has changed your wealth, your skill.
Correct, because I paid attention. Yeah,
that's a beautiful thing, and I'm just soaking it all up right now. Just like I'm enamored. Like damn, one of my boys, another one of mine. Because I got relationships with a couple guys. Like we were talking about we even had Ruben Diaz from the Bronx. Yeah. We went to Lehman with us.
Yeah,
right?
Bronx Borough President. Yeah,
Bronx fucking Borough President.
Yeah.
And I could say, I went to Lehman. I went to with Ruben and
we're not gonna disparage his name, but we saw him when he was in high school. We'll just say that. All right, we'll just say that.
Shout out to Ruben, yes, man, and all the great things that he's done, and just I'm surrounded by greatness, man, and a lot of good inspiring stories, and just a good energy. Like you said, you gotta remove some people. Sometimes you gotta remove yourself from the room
Absolutely.
too. Absolutely, I had to remove myself from the room because I was the I was the bad energy. So,
well, that's a big, you saying that is, you're holding yourself accountable, which is growth. Absolutely. Right? Because most people are like, why is this happening to me? I'm like, bro, because you're a dick.
Asshole. You're an asshole. He's a wide. So sometimes God give it. I'm a big firm believer that God give it, God take it away. And, he's given me a lot to look forward to, man. So I'm great, man. I'm great, man. You know what I mean?
All right, so next time you see me and Vic, I'm going to be at the hut. He's going to have Kobe's for me. We're going to do a whole thing about it. All right, that's going to be on that. Vic, if people have to get to you, talk to the camera, let them know.
We're at the Hut BX, the Hut BX NYC on Instagram. We also have the Hut store, BX store on Instagram as well.
What's the address? They can pull up.
1489 Williamsbridge Road in the Bronx. And I'm accessible, man. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Vic needs his own podcast at the hut. At the hut, where they can smoke cigarettes and whatever else they want to smoke. And smoke weed and have bottles.
Don't fucking stink up.